What's up everybody, my name is Davey and welcome to another video. I know I literally just said in my last video that I wouldn't do these videos very often. However, I recorded that video about 11 o'clock at night, and then about 1 o'clock at night I was sitting there looking at Instagram and I found a lot more leaks. Admittedly, these leaks weren't exactly new when I found them, they were a few hours old, so maybe they're already spoke about by now, maybe not. I haven't seen anyone talk about them, but I want to talk about them just because I'm excited about them. Like I said previously, I wouldn't usually talk about this stuff because it feels disrespectful to share it and, you know, publicize it further. However, this is just something which I'm so excited about, where I'm like, you know what, I'll just do a bad thing and feel bad about it. So, hello everyone, welcome to another video talking about LEGO leaks. Let's get straight into it. The first thing I want to talk about is ARC Trooper 5's. He's leaked. We know what he looks like now. We've also seen the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars plate that he comes with. We haven't seen the back of him, which really puts the entire community on edge. But there's something that really upsets me before we go on to it. Firstly, it's not the helmet holes. I'm okay with the helmet holes. It'd be better if the helmet holes were correct and consistent, but that doesn't bother me as much as this does. The cloth pauldron. So let me get this straight. LEGO will give the CMFs a cloth waistcape, but they'll print it onto the clone troopers. And then they'll give us a cloth pauldron. The same thing that bootleg companies have been doing for years. But they still won't give us a cloth waistcape. I mean, they could have made a custom printed waistcape as well, and that would have been so valuable. It would have brought up the interest in this so much. It would have just really done a lot of money for LEGO. So such a big wasted opportunity here, but we'll ignore that for a moment. The helmet itself looks like it's got great printing. I can't complain too much about that. The lines at the top of his helmet where he's got his symbols, it feels a little bit strange for some reason, but I can't come up with any reason why, so I will simply say it looks fine. You know, I'm quite happy with the helmet. It could look a lot worse, and I'm happy with how it looks like that. The chest, it's got pretty good printing. My only problem with it is how oversized they've done his big pouch on his right breast, but they really did oversize it with Captain Rex as well, and I feel like since it's LEGO feels like almost like a comicalization of what we see. So when you see these characters in TV and movies, they look really good, and then in LEGO they're going to give them the big heads, oversized weapons, just because they want to make it more child friendly. They want to comicalize the aspects of it to make it less intense. And that's just what it feels like with the pauldron, or not the pauldron, sorry, the breast piece. So that doesn't really bother me too much either. The legs have got pretty good printing, can't complain much about that. Wish they did dual molds, admittedly, because he's got grey boots. If you've seen ARC Trooper 5's as a full body render, and it just starts some grey, and then it just goes white. So he's just got this grey line on his legs, which again is quite disappointing, but I can handle that. The arm printing isn't great, but I'm just not usually a fan of arm printing, so I won't really rant about that. Again, I feel like the lower ends of the arms should have been like a dual mold again, so it goes grey. Because I have seen dual molded arms before, but I'm not usually a fan of arm printing, simply because most of the LEGO Star Wars stuff I collect is the original Clone Wars stuff. So like 2010s kind of thing, and you didn't have leg printing and arm printing at that time, so I feel like since I'm just not used to it, since it's not something which I'm used to seeing in sets, that I'm just unhappy with it, so I'm not going to rant too much on that. With all of that put aside, he does have this really weird oversized rifle piece, which is disappointing. I'm hoping that we'll see the DC-14 pieces come back, but it's not the end of the world if we don't. He still looks pretty good, so I can't complain too much about this figure. I'm just really hoping, maybe it's the nostalgia in me. I want the old DC-14 pistols to come back. I want the old pauldrons to come back, and I want the old waistcapes to come back. Whether it's the cloth waistcapes or if it's the plastic ones, you know, I'd be quite happy with either. Just please stop printing it onto the figures because it looks awful, especially when they don't print on the side of the legs. So you get this tiny little line on the front where it's meant to be the waistcape, and then nothing else. It just looks terrible. It looks so much better if there was just no waist cape on it. I'd be much happier with that, and I think most of the LEGO community would. There's very few people who go, I'm not too bothered about that. The majority of the community is upset over it, so that's my only real thoughts for Art Trooper 5. Besides that, he looks absolutely great. I'm really excited. I'm quite likely to buy this set. I'm quite sure that I probably will. But let's ignore that for a moment and let's get into some really interesting sets. Firstly, we have another 25th anniversary figure coming in 75394 Death Star Conference. I vaguely touched on this previously, but Kestis included in this set is the 25th anniversary figure. So we now know what 4 of the 5 or 6 figures will be, the 4th one being Kestis, which is pretty cool. There's not much more information to say about it, so I won't really touch on it any further. However, since I'm talking about this, I'm going to skip right over to the next 25th anniversary figure, which is Young Leia, which comes in a buildable Ewok set. So we now know what set Leia is going to be coming in. This is set 75392, and again, Young Leia is another one of the 25th anniversary figures. Again, this is pretty cool to see. I'm quite happy about this. I probably won't be getting this set because it's just not something that interesting to me. I don't usually collect the sequel stuff, especially when it comes to the big brick built figures like you get with the I don't know what they're called, but I'll put them onto screen now. The big collectible Lego built figures. I really don't remember what they call them, but you know, it's a bit like those. It's not that interesting to me, so I probably won't get this set. But it's still really cool that we now know where it's coming from. Now, let's get into some interesting news, both disappointing and exciting. The rest of this information comes from an Instagram account called Jedi Bricks. They claim that they get their information from Retailer Listing and Brick Clicker, which is 2 sites which basically list information about sets which stores have gotten information about. I think one of them actually is one of the places where stores get the information from, while the other one is where they actually put the information that they get. So these are quite inside sources. I don't know how reliable these sources are, so take everything that I'm about to say from here with a grain of salt. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is 75399, a microscale Jedi temple. This set, I'd be quite happy about. I'd go, you know what, yeah, I'd get that. But it's $149.99 and includes a Yaddle minifigure. We don't have a confirmed release date, but we're expecting August or September 2024. Look, I like Yaddle, I like the Jedi Temple. I'm actually building the Jedi Temple in Minecraft at the moment on my friend's Minecraft realm. So it's not the set which I'm disappointed about, it's the price. $149.99 for a Jedi Temple and 1 minifigure. It's not it. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way that I could spend that much money on it. It feels too overpriced for me, so that's not a set I will be getting. But if that's something interesting to you, it's $149.99. I don't know the piece count, but it's pretty cool. It comes with 4 little brick built mini ships. The Jedi Temple looks pretty good, so if this is something interesting to you, keep an eye out for this, because this will be releasing August or September. We don't have a confirmed date, but that's when it's rumoured to be coming out. Now, let's talk about a set which is really interesting to me, because there's a fake leak and a reliable leak, let's call them. Like I said, nothing at this point is reliable. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but 75388 was originally rumoured to be a 212 Super Battle Pack. It's $39.99 with 326 pieces. It was rumoured to include a 212 Officer, a 212 Heavy, a 212 Specialist, as well as a 212 Airborne. And then it was rumoured to include 2 ATRTs, a Bark Speeder, and another cannon build similar to what we had in the Ahsoka's Battle Pack, which we got earlier this year. This is being told to be a fake rumour. I don't know the source of where this came from, I don't know the source of who's saying it's fake. However, people are saying that this is a fake rumour now, or at least Jedi Bricks is saying on his Instagram. So, This is an interesting concept because while it would have been interesting to get more battle pack variants, my issue with it is how limiting it is. I've got 2 of the 501st battle pack, which includes 2 heavies, a specialist and an officer. But it also means that I have no plain 501st assault troopers, which is really disappointing. So I've just got like this awkward hole in my collection where I'm like, yeah, I've got these specialists, but I don't have the main genuine common characters. It's an army without an army, really. So I wish that these kind of battle packs had like 1 assault, 1 heavy, 1 specialist, 1 officer kind of thing, because that would have been a perfect lineup, crystal perfect. But I can understand why they didn't do that, because they'd already done loads of sets with the 501st assault troopers in the previous battle pack. So I can understand that. And I can understand that for the Ahsoka's troopers, that they weren't in Star Wars Battlefront 2, so they wouldn't have had these class variants on their designs. They were only in the Clone Wars. We only saw couple commanders, like Captain Vaughn, and then we saw the main assault troopers. So that's why in the battle pack we got Vaughn and assault troopers. Pretty simple, not much to complain about that. However, we do have rumours for what the set will really be. 75388 is rumoured to be a Z95 clone starfighter. We had one of these a few years back, which included Ponkrell and 2 501st characters. That's that ship, if you're remembering it. That's the ship we're talking about. It's $39.99, it's going to be coming August 1st, 2024, and it's rumoured to include Commander Bly, as well as a 327th Legion clone trooper, and 1 more figure. 3 figures is a little bit kind of disappointing, but it's the same amount of figures that we had for the last Z95, so that doesn't bother me too much. I don't know who the other figure could be. I'm thinking maybe Ayla Secura. However, I'm thinking it's more likely that we will get either a pilot, which is, again, seemingly unlikely, or most likely just a second 327th clone trooper. My problem with this set is that we've never really seen 327th in clone starfighters. It would have made more sense if we saw them, maybe if we got a diorama of the Clone Wars, where we had Bly and Rex taking care of Anakin, or if we had a clone turbo tank, even if it was like a mini build of a turbo tank, because that's where the 327th commit Order 66 on Ayla Secura. But I can understand why they didn't want to make an Order 66 set. The plot of a Jedi betraying the other Jedi, basically most of the Jedi in the galaxy being horrifically murdered, and then that traitorous Jedi murdering a bunch of children. I can imagine that not being very child friendly, and I can imagine LEGO wanting to turn a blind eye to it, so that doesn't surprise me. But besides from that, it's a reasonable price. It sounds like it's got good figures so far, so I'm excited to see what's in it. I might end up buying this set. There's a very good chance I'll end up buying this set. It truly just depends on the quality of the figures. I don't really buy sets for the builds at this point. Most LEGO sets I buy are for the figures. So if this one has good figures, I will be buying it. But there you go. That's what the unlikely and most likely rumours are for 75388. We think it's going to be a clone starfighter. However, it's possible it could also be a 212 battle pack. For $39.99, I would not expect it to be a battle pack. The battle pack, it sounds unrealistic. The 327th don't really fit with a clone starfighter, but everything else in this rumour leans up together. So for the about 390 piece count, you could build a starfighter. So I will trust this rumour for now, and I will say if it's obviously right or wrong. The last set which I want to talk about is not even confirmed or rumoured in any way. This is a theory from Master Jedi Bricks. And his theory is that 75389, which is $169.99 releasing in August, will be a clone trooper turbo tank. Now, I can't say that I'm exactly hyped for a turbo tank. I'm not exactly sitting here going, woo, yeah baby, give me a clone turbo tank, that's what I want. I've already got one. I've got the Clone Wars one from about 2012, 2013, probably earlier than that actually, and I'm very happy with it, so I don't need another clone turbo tank. But the reason why I'm talking about this rumour, or theory at least, sorry, is that in his theory he states that it could be a WOLFPACK turbo tank. So this would be a turbo tank including a couple battle droids, maybe a spider droid, as well as Commander Wolf and a couple 327th WOLFPACK clone troopers. Sorry, the 41st. No, that's Kashi. What battalion? Is it the 4th battalion? The WOLFPACK battalion. Okay, just the WOLFPACK battalion. I'm sorry. There's so many numbers for the battalions in Star Wars lore. I can't keep up with what's what. But what I'm trying to say is the WOLFPACK battalion. And for those who don't know, I have been pitching and hyping the WOLFPACK for months and months and months. So I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping for this. Just because I want some WOLFPACK clones. I don't want to spend $169.99 for WOLFPACK clones. But if that is the only way to get WOLFPACK clones, I will bite the big one and have a single tear shed down my eye as I buy it. I'm hoping that we will get a more reasonable price, which we can get these in, a more reasonable set. However, if it is the $169.99, I'm sure it will sell well. I will quite likely be buying one. So yeah, I will keep you updated on if this theory ends up being true or not. But the price is right. It sounds like an exciting Lego set, and yeah, I'm just fingers crossed hoping for it. Finally, let's talk about Jedi Bob for a minute. I previously mentioned him briefly in my last video, talking about the leaks and rumours. I don't really have much more to update it on. I just got a couple thoughts which I missed out in that video. The Starfighter itself, I'm expecting a Starfighter, not an Interceptor. The difference is that the Interceptors are the things we saw in episode 3, and the Starfighters are what we saw in episode 2. I would expect to see a Starfighter and not an Interceptor, simply because we saw Jedi Bob in the Republic gunship based during Attack of the Clones, during the big Geonosis battle. This would be quite early into the Republic War, and they wouldn't have Interceptors at that time. So if they want to keep it with that kind of theme, referencing the early Clone Wars, it'd be more likely to do a Starfighter and an Interceptor. Along with that, there's a mock which is kind of flying around the internet, which shows it being black and red. And while this is an interesting colour scheme, I feel that this comes across too Sithly, you know, too villainous. So I don't expect it to be black and red. I am thinking that it's more likely to be a white and red or white and green, referencing the colour scheme of the Republic gunship. I think it's also possible that we could see it in some kind of bright neon colour. So maybe a green or a blue or an orange. I would not expect to see it in black and red. That seems incredibly unlikely for me, and I just wanted to briefly touch on that. My thoughts for each of those colours: we've not had an orange Starfighter before, so it's possible for that. I don't think that we'd see a dark red one because that's the same colour as Ahsoka's. I don't think that we could see a green one because that's the same colour as Sassy Tins, I think that set was. Sassy Tin and the Jedi Master who gets kidnapped and taken to the Sith prison, which there's the Clone Wars 3-episode arc on breaking them out. I'm pretty sure that was Sassy Tin Starfighter in green. I don't think we'd see it in a dark blue because that's Plo Koon's, however it could be a light blue. And then just having white with different colour schemes mixed into it is a common thing that we've seen. We've seen it with Mace Windu. We saw that with another one of the 3 Starfighters during that Escape the Citadel character arc. So there's feels like it's most likely going to be a brighter colour. I would assume it would be white to reference the Republic gunship. If not, I would expect it to be in an orange or a bright green, maybe even a bright blue. But those are just my thoughts on Jedi Bob. There's still no other rumours on it. This isn't a leak in any way. This is just me theorising a little bit now. So, there you go. I'm going to end this video off now because it's a little bit of a long one. But I thank you again for watching because I'm excited about this stuff. I won't talk about leaks a lot, but I'm excited for these ones. And I'm really looking forward to see what LEGO puts our way. So thank you very much for watching. I'll keep you updated if there is anything more exciting to talk about If not, keep an eye on my channel, because when these sets come out I will be buying them and I will be reviewing them. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. God, I'm stumbling my words, but I'll see you all real soon. Bye guys.